I had been married to Ethan for 5 years, and he never once touched me. One night, I finally summoned the courage to hug him from behind. He sneered. What? That desperate? All because 5 years ago, I slapped his crush at our wedding. He said, 5 years of punishment, not a day less. I didn't cry. I didn't cause a scene. He thought I couldn't live without him. 5 years later, he called and said, take a shower and wait for me at home. I'm now allowing you to carry my child. But the call was answered by our son. Amias, who are you? My dad says one kid from mom is more than enough. Chapter 01. Everyone in the industry knew Ethan sentenced me to 5 years of punishment, all because I slapped his crush at our wedding, in front of all the guests. Ethan's face turned cold. Kneel, he ordered. I stood frozen in disbelief, glaring at him. He wasn't pleased. His gaze was icy. Kneel, or your family goes bankrupt. Your choice. After that, it was as if I didn't exist. He casually toasted the guests with a wine glass in hand. I followed him, begging, it's our wedding night. I'm the bride. If you make me kneel, how can I show my face again? He didn't even look at me. My word is law. Disobey if you want, if your family can afford my wrath. I'd never met a man this ruthless. I wanted to storm out, but I was too scared. So I became the only bride in the world who knelt in a wedding dress in front of everyone, while her groom drank and laughed. No one dared help me, not even my parents or friends. They all feared Ethan's power and his methods. I knelt there. I couldn't get up until Ethan gave permission. The guests looked away, too embarrassed. That woman, though, she looked at me with a smug smile. I don't know how I got through it. I just lowered my head and endured the humiliation in silence. Not until the wedding ended and everyone left did Ethan's assistant come up to me and say, Mr. Chan says you may get up and go reflect in the bridal suite. Only then did I slowly stand up and walk back, like a soaked, disgraced dog, into a room covered in red paper cuttings, where I collapsed in tears. An hour later, Ethan showed up. He'd showered, lay beside me, and pulled me into his arms. He wiped my tears gently, but his words cut like knives. No wedding night tonight. 5 years of punishment, not a day less. When your term is up, I'll let you carry my child. Some tried to talk him out of it. Don't go too far. She's your wife. You might lose her. Ethan scoffed. She won't. She wouldn't dare. In my world, there's no such thing as divorce, only widowhood. He was convinced that I'd never challenge his power, that I was desperate for his love, that even a sliver of hope would keep me devoted. He never touched me, but he held me every night and never fooled around. He said, be good. Once the 5 years are up, I'll spoil you. But my heart died the moment I knelt. Every day of that inescapable marriage, I dreamed of cheating on him. Chapter 02. To make it worse, my mother-in-law kept pressuring me, what a useless hen that lays no eggs. So, I gave birth. The child had Chan blood, but he wasn't Ethan's. Old Mr. Chan was gravely ill. He feared he wouldn't live to see a great-grandson. He kept calling me to his bedside, urging me to give him a great-grandchild. I boldly asked, so, any great-grandson will do? He said, exactly. Give me one, and I'll give you 5% of the Chan Group shares. That very day, I showed up with 3.5-year-old Amias at his bedside and confessed, this is your great-grandson, but he's not Ethan's. Mr. Chan almost had a stroke. Amias leaned on the edge of the bed, puffed his cheeks, and blew on his face. Great-grandpa, are you okay? Mommy says blowing makes pain go away. Old Mr. Chan had seen too much to be fazed for long. After 3 minutes, he calmly accepted Amias. To him, who fathered the child didn't matter, so long as the child carried the Chan name. But he feared Ethan would find out and harm Amias to cut the weed at its root. This was his first great-grandchild. He adored the boy. He snatched Amias from me and had him secretly raised abroad. At the same time, he wrote me into his will, giving me 5% of the company shares as a reward for bearing a child. No one knew about this but him and me. My mother-in-law still cursed me daily as a useless hen. I didn't argue. I already got what I needed. I just hoped Amias would grow up safe and carefree, and one day roast Ethan alive. What I didn't expect was this. The night Mr. Chan died, Amias's real father pinned me down on top of the coffin. He lowered his voice. Sophia, how dare you steal my seed? My legs went weak. Who told you that? I didn't. He threw the paternity report in my face. Old Mr. Chan told me before he died. Still want to deny it? I wanted to cry. Old man. Serves you right for dying. I'm being pinned down on your coffin. The man grabbed my chin with 2 fingers, forcing me to look him in the eyes. Tell me, why'd you steal my seed? I racked my brain for a lie, but his dangerous stare reminded me of Mr. Chan's dying words. Jeremy's not like Ethan. Don't play games with him. Daughter-in-law. If you want to survive, honesty is your only weapon. I took a deep breath and decided to tell the truth. Because you're the only one who can control Ethan. He said there's no divorce in his world, only widows. If I can't get out of the marriage, better he dies than me. Also, you're better looking than he is. He humiliated and abused me for another woman. I was set on cheating on him, so of course I picked someone hotter. My heart was in my throat as I blinked at him. All true. Besides, you becoming heir to the Chan Empire, I helped make that happen. If I hadn't given birth to Amias, Mr. Chan might not have handed power to you. Call it arrogance, but it's the truth. He loved Amias. Ethan will never know what he truly lost in those 5 years of punishment. Chapter 03. Ethan had been raised since childhood as the heir to the Chan Empire, privileged. Entitled, The Golden Boy Who Always Got His Way. He never imagined that, on his deathbed, the old man would officially name Jeremy as the next head of the Chan group. He was too arrogant to realize that this family really did have a throne to inherit. Even knowing how badly the old man longed to see a great-grandchild before dying, he still insisted on punishing me for 5 years for slapping his precious crush, without budging a single day. Jeremy narrowed his eyes and stared at me for a long time. You're honest. I'll give you that. But aren't you afraid Ethan will kill you when he finds out you cheated on him? As he questioned me, his cold hand pressed against my neck, firm, but not choking. It felt dangerous, like if my answer didn't satisfy him, he'd strangle me on the spot. Just then, my phone rang in my pocket, a video call. I forced myself to answer. Amias's cool little face popped up on screen. He frowned, voice adorably fierce. Mommy, who's that? Why's he grabbing your neck? Instinct took over before my brain could catch up. I said, Sweetheart, say hi to Daddy. Amias immediately yelled, Daddy, let go of Mommy. Jeremy's hand loosened, his entire body jolted. That very night, Jeremy had Amias brought back from abroad. The next day, he openly held Amias's hand and brought him to the funeral to light incense in front of the old man's shrine. Watching the 2 of them, tall and small, identical down to the expression, left the whole family stunned. Everyone was whispering, trying to figure out who Amias's mother could be. Chapter 04. Ethan's crush, Celestine, came to the funeral too, lighting incense before the shrine. Afterward, she approached me in a low voice. So, how's life as Ethan's wife? Word is, 5 years and not a single egg from you. I sneered. I'm not a hen. Of course I don't lay eggs. Wait, don't tell me you can? Celestine raised her hand, ready to slap me. Did you just call me a hen? But I was faster. Smack. My hand landed hard across her face. I was dragged into this marriage by force. Plenty of women wanted Ethan, but I was the one he married. Back then, I was naive enough to believe it was love, until that woman showed up at the wedding to provoke me, and I realized Ethan had always had a thing for Celestine. I slapped her once then, and got punished with a night of kneeling. 5 years of neglect, and the whole city laughing at me, but that didn't mean I'd stay afraid of her. If I wanted to slap her again, I would. The sound echoed. Mourners turned to look. Ethan stormed over, fury in every step. He locked eyes with the red imprint on Celestine's cheek. The air around him dropped a few degrees. He squinted at me. Sophia. Kneel. I slowly clenched my fists, and smiled coldly. Ethan really hadn't changed, still shielding Celestine at all costs. But I wasn't the same powerless Sophia anymore. I sneered. And if I don't? What then? You gonna threaten me with bankruptcy again? Like at the wedding? Too bad I no longer care. My family stood by while I knelt in a wedding dress and got humiliated. If they go bankrupt, so be it. That's not my problem. What else do you have to threaten me with? Oh, right. No divorce, only widows? Well, I'd love that, because the one dying won't be me. The old man gave me 5% of the Chan group before he died. Honestly, I'd be thrilled to get promoted and become a widow. Ethan was stunned by my sharp tongue. He gave a smile that didn't reach his eyes, just skin and teeth. It sent a chill down my spine. The 5 years are almost up. I'm about to spoil you. Let you carry my child. You really want to piss me off now? I'm giving you one last chance. Kneel. And then, a tiny but fierce voice rang out, cooler and angrier than Ethan's. Who dares bully my mommy? Ethan's pupils dilated. What did you say? Say that again? Chapter 05. Celestine stood nearby, sneering. So that's why you gave the kid candy earlier. Sophia? Trying to bribe him into lying for you? She turned to Ethan. Ethan, whatever we had is ancient history, but your wife clearly can't let it go. Handle your woman. Celestine was arrogant as ever, touching her swollen cheek. She pretended to scoff in front of everyone. Who doesn't have an ex? If every wife acted like yours, treating every ex like a mortal enemy and going around slapping people, what is she? Mentally unstable? Honestly, Ethan, out of all the women you could have married, I can't believe you picked someone so petty and classless. Aren't you worried that the kid's real mom will find out he's calling someone else mom and get so mad she spits blood? The surrounding guests began whispering. She's right. There's no way Jeremy's son could be Sophia's. Unless Sophia actually dared to cheat on Ethan. But she would have had to be pregnant for 9 months. How could she hide that from Ethan? I heard Ethan comes home every night. He just doesn't sleep with her. But they've never lived apart, right? No way she could have hidden a pregnancy. Their speculation reminded Ethan of something important. Unless he was away on business, he really had been home every night, holding me as we slept, the whole night through. It really was impossible for me to have carried a pregnancy under his nose and birthed a child. Ethan quickly calmed down, his voice icy with sarcasm. Sophia, you've really outdone yourself. Teaching a kid to tell such a pathetic lie, what a disgrace to my name. My woman can be bad, but she can't be stupid. Next time you lie, at least use your brain. Or better yet, why don't you go ask Jeremy if he dare touch what's mine? He tossed the words at me arrogantly, then walked off with a smug Celestine to get some ice for her face. So I really did ask. Under the gaze of 100 mocking guests, I took Amia's by the hand and walked straight to Jeremy. I was like a porcupine with all its quills out, furious, reckless. Jeremy, Ethan told me to ask you, would you dare sleep with his woman? I hooked my arms around his neck, stood on my toes, and whispered, do it now. Kiss me. Chapter 06. Jeremy's gaze darkened instantly, like a storm rolling in. His voice was sharp with warning. Sophia, don't play with fire. You can't afford the consequences of provoking me. His words hit like a bucket of ice water, instantly extinguishing my fury. I dropped back onto my heels, arms falling away. You Chan men really have no sense of romance. Do you? I'd heard the rumors. Jeremy avoided women like the plague. Even the top goddesses in the entertainment world couldn't touch him. He was the untouchable type, cold and elite. How could a man like that possibly be dragged down from his pedestal just because I stole his seed and had his child? No wonder Ethan was so confident. He never believed I could possibly be Amia's mother. But in the very next second, a large hand wrapped around my waist, pulling me close, forcing me back up onto my tiptoes. Jeremy held my chin with one hand. His face wore a gentle smile, but his voice was full of threat. This is your last chance to run. If you choose me, and you ever let Ethan hold you in his arms again, I'll kill you within 3 days, and I'll scatter your ashes myself. I froze as if struck by lightning, but the image of Ethan gently icing Celestine's face only fueled my rage. I threw my arms around Jeremy's neck again, every cell in my body burning with the thrill of betrayal. I don't regret it. Just scatter his ashes, not mine. Jeremy's eyes grew darker and more intense. Then suddenly, he laughed. Tell Amias to close his eyes. Amias stood beside us. His chubby little hands shot up to cover his face. Daddy, Mommy, I can't see anything. I'm gonna go play now. He bolted. The next moment, my lips were claimed. Jeremy gripped the back of my head, pulling me into a kiss that left no room for doubt. Chapter 07. No one knew how long it had been when Ethan finally came looking, because Amias had run over to him and proudly kicked his shin, shouting, "My daddy says he would." As soon as I heard Ethan's familiar footsteps, Alarm bells went off in my head. But Jeremy leaned in, whispering in my ear like a threat, thinking about someone else now? My heart was in my throat. That's Ethan's footsteps. Jeremy, however, was completely unfazed. So what? Scared now? You weren't scared when you had my kid behind his back. And now you're panicking? Don't be. If he finds out, I'll scatter his ashes. Didn't you say you'd rather he die than you? Isn't getting promoted and becoming a widow exactly what you've been hoping for? He took Ethan's footsteps as the war drum and launched a full-on assault, breaching my defenses without hesitation. Somewhere nearby, we heard Celestine's mocking voice, Amyas must be lying. Jeremy would never go for someone like Sophia. He didn't even. Shut up. Ethan's harsh voice cut her off. Curious. I tilted my head up to look at Jeremy's sharp jawline. Wait. Celestine hit on you too? Jeremy pulled me tighter against him, lips grazing my ear. You already know. You're just stirring the pot. Seducing me, wasn't it all just to hit two birds with one stone? Revenge on Celestine and Ethan? I'm the man Celestine couldn't get. And now, I'm in the arms of the wife Ethan abandoned. Doesn't that thrill you? Honestly? I blinked playfully. I didn't know you were her unattainable crush. Come on, tell me more. Spice it up a little. Jeremy rolled his eyes at me but didn't kill the mood. Maybe I really was irresistible, because the satisfaction in his gaze gave him the patience to feed my curiosity. Back then, I gave Ethan a love letter Celestine had written to me. If I hadn't, their kid would be in middle school by now. Oof, savage. And here's the kicker, I texted Celestine in front of Ethan, see you at the hotel. 8 p.m. But I never went. Ethan did. Don't know what happened. But after that, the two of them completely fell apart. Ethan hates betrayal. He might marry anyone else in his life, but he'll never marry her. If you'd stuck it out for 5 years, he probably really would have treated you well. Regret it now? I scoffed. You mean the kind of love that made me kneel on our wedding day and become a citywide joke? You want that? Be my guest. Me. I just want to see Ethan and Celestine walk in and find us like this. That face, oh. It'll be priceless. Right on cue. Their footsteps approached. Knock. 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 Ethan was at the door. Chapter 08. Jeremy. You in there? Need to discuss something. I'm coming in. He didn't wait for permission, just pushed the door open and walked in. Jeremy had me pinned against the wall, lips brushing over mine in soft, scattered kisses. The rumors were true. Jeremy really didn't know a thing about seduction. He wasn't gentle or skilled. He simply devoured, like a conqueror punishing the woman who dared steal his seed without asking. As Ethan and Celestine walked into the room, Jeremy pressed harder. I gasped. MMM. Celestine let out a breath of relief. See, Ethan? I told you, Jeremy would never go for Sophia. This room's empty. The room wasn't empty. It just had a one-way mirror. We could see them, but they couldn't see us. Ethan's face was anything but calm. His instincts flared. He took out his phone and called Jeremy. The ringtone echoed in the room. He. Daddy. You're my daddy. It was Amy's voice. I was stunned. Jeremy had just brought Amy's back, and he'd already set the boy's voice as his ringtone? And then a wicked thought crossed my mind. Was that Ethan's exclusive ringtone? You guessed right. Jeremy whispered in my ear like he could read minds. I raised a brow and gave him a secret thumbs up. On the other side of the glass, Ethan's sharp gaze fixated on the mirror. Even though he couldn't see us, his expression was dark and menacing. Jeremy? Who's in there with you? Come out. No response. Ethan's patience snapped. He kicked the glass hard. I said come the hell out. Jeremy looked down at me. You game? My thirst for revenge surged. Why not? I've spent 5 years wanting Ethan to know I cheated on him. He made me the joke of the city. I want that joke to follow him the rest of his life, make him clench his teeth every time he thinks of me. Maybe it was the fire in my eyes. But Jeremy chuckled low and dark. He lifted me into his arms and walked straight toward the one-way glass. Chapter 09. Right then, Amyas burst into the room. Trailing behind him was a swarm of reporters. Chaos-loving little rascal. He really is my kid. Jeremy muttered as he shot a glance at the boy who'd just ambushed his own father. Every single reporter had a camera. The room lit up in flashes as they spotted Ethan and Celestine alone together. Ethan's face darkened. What the hell? Stop filming. Who let you in? Amias strutted in like he owned the place. Voice soft and smug. Of course. These reporters are all here to interview yours truly. They want to know who my mommy is. Uncles. Aunties, you may begin your interview now. I promise to answer everything honestly. Kids don't lie. You know. He climbed into a single-seat armchair and arrogantly slung his chubby arms over the sides, looking like a mini CEO. The reporters weren't about to let this go. The internet had been dying to find out who Jeremy's child's mother was. Amias. One reporter asked. Tell us, who's your mommy? Amias puffed up his chest with pride. My mommy is super awesome. She's the famous Dr. Another reporter followed up. Dr. Who? Amias replied. The one working to liberate all women. She invented the artificial womb. I'm her proudest creation. I was born in a simulation pod. And all those investors out there who want to work with my mommy, what are you waiting for? Call her already. His words sent a shockwave through the crowd. What? This kid was born in an artificial womb simulator? Are you serious? I've heard of this Dr. She proposed the tech years ago, but no one took her seriously. If this is true, investors will be lining up. Dr. is a feminist legend in the making. Wow. So he wasn't here to ruin me, he was drawing investors to me? No doubt he inherited my brains and Jeremy's business instincts. Using the press as free advertising? That's my boy, Ethan. Hearing all this, calmed down slightly. So your mom is the mysterious Dr. What's her number? I want to work with her. Amias gave him the side eye and delivered the fatal blow. Mommy says she'd rather work with a dog than with Ethan. Jeremy, who had been walking out with me in his arms, paused mid-step. He lowered his voice. You're really that Dr. Of course. You think I got 5% of the Chan Group shares just by having a baby? Don't be ridiculous. The old man wasn't a fool. The moment he learned I developed the artificial womb and saw Amias, my perfect proof of concept, he saw dollar signs. I became his golden goose. He was willing to overlook the fact that I cheated on Ethan just to hitch the Chan family to my tech and keep it riding high for the next 100 years. I never planned to rely on my uterus to secure a foothold in the Chan family. I'm not that stupid. A woman's greatest asset isn't her womb, it's her mind. Jeremy tightened his arms around me like I was his treasure and suddenly didn't want Ethan finding out who I really was. He put me down, gently kissed me, and asked sweetly, only partner with me, okay, baby mama? Sure, but only if you make sure Ethan finds out what a great gift I've given him. Chapter 10. I didn't go home for an entire week, because Amias wouldn't let me. He insisted we all sleep together, me on his left, Jeremy on his right, with him happily sandwiched in the middle. Jeremy indulged him, especially after Amias whined. Boo-hoo. Mommy's never slept next to me at night, and neither has Daddy. I'm the saddest baby in the world, no one loves me. Jeremy understood that pain, he grew up the same way. His parents had died young, and he'd been raised by his grandmother, who just so happened to be the first wife of the old Mr. Chan. After their divorce, Mr. Chan remarried. That second wife was Ethan's grandmother. Thinking of his own childhood, Jeremy felt even more pity for Amias and became more determined to shower the boy with love. So, after the funeral, I basically became their third roommate, spending every night in their bed. Ethan thought I was still mad about the kneeling incident at our wedding. He figured I was off sulking somewhere, blowing off steam. But when the 5-year mark finally came and I still didn't return, Ethan's patience snapped. His expression went cold. Find out where Sophia is. You have 3 minutes. He ordered his assistant. I want her location. 2 minutes and 29 seconds later, the assistant blinked in shock and reported, Mr. Chan, she's at Jeremy's house. Ethan's pupils shrank. Say that again. It's true. Sir, your wife is currently at Mr. Jeremy Chan's residence. Crash! Ethan slammed his fist into the desk, shattering an entire set of antique teaware. Impossible. Refusing to believe it, he pulled out his phone and texted me. Today is our 5-year wedding anniversary. Tonight, the wedding night we never had, get cleaned up and wait for me at home. Chapter 11. I read the message but didn't reply. What a cursed day this is. Jeremy asked. What's wrong? You look pissed. Who got on your nerves? I showed him Ethan's WeChat messages, fuming inside but unable to vent. Where does he get the confidence to think I'd be looking forward to this day? Wedding anniversary? Please. This isn't some anniversary. It's the day I got humiliated into a marriage. The most pathetic day of my life. Amias bounced over and climbed into my arms, his little chubby hands wrapped around my neck, and he planted a big kiss on my face. Mommy, my kisses have magic. They chase away all the bad vibes. Go away. Bad luck. I burst out laughing, as expected. Amias had me feeling better in no time. Ethan saw I wasn't replying, so he sent a whole stream of messages. Haven't you caused enough drama? What's with the attitude? You didn't kneel that day either. Remember? And you cursed me to die. Did I hold it against you? Celestine and I are ancient history. If you weren't such a petty grudge holder, always hung up on her, would I ever lose my temper? Come on now, the 5 years are up. Tonight, I'm going to spoil you hard. Jeremy took my phone, glanced at the messages, and scoffed. What an idiot. He asked. Wanna turn this miserable day into the best day of your life? I was nibbling on the tangerine Amias handed me and nodded. Of course I do. What's your plan? Jeremy grinned and didn't say a word. Instead, he grabbed my phone and texted Ethan back. Can't reply. She's full. 1 second later, the phone rang. Jeremy handed it to Amias. Pick it up for mommy. Make sure to piss him off good. That'll really make her happy. Amias rolled up his little sleeves, full of swagger, and confidently hit the speakerphone button. Ethan's voice exploded through the line. Furious. Sophia, have I spoiled you too much? You dare have some guy reply to my texts? Didn't you always want a baby? The 5-year term's up. I'm giving you permission to carry my child. Get home now. Take a shower. And wait for me. Amias let him finish, then calmly asked, Who are you? My dad says one kid from mommy is more than enough. Chapter 12. Oh, that was satisfying. So damn satisfying. No doubt about it, Amias is definitely my son. He knows exactly how to make me happy. The only regret? I couldn't see Ethan's face when he realized I'd cheated on him this hard. I imagined it for a long time while sitting in Jeremy's villa, until Ethan showed up with a whole squad of bodyguards and a dozen cars, storming in like he was going to war. Too bad for him, Jeremy's villa was locked down tighter than a fortress. Not even a fly could get through. Watching Ethan's furious, green with jealousy face on the security monitor, even better than I imagined. But I wasn't done yet. I opened my laptop, and right in front of Jeremy, I hacked into the Chan Corporation's official website and changed the entire background to bright, blinding green. The whole site looked like a neon forest. Absolutely glorious. Jeremy rubbed his forehead. Happy now, future Mrs. CEO? I smiled. Sort of. But who said I'm marrying you? Jeremy pushed me down onto the couch and kissed me with full-on alpha energy. You came for me, and now you think you'll go back to being Ethan's wife? Dream on. Sophia. His kiss sent chills down my spine. Once bitten, twice shy. I admitted honestly, I never want to get married again. Jeremy, I'm done gambling. You don't love me. We only got tied together because I, stole your sperm. Now I've got money, a son, and a career that's about to make me famous. That's more than enough. Why risk it all on another uncertain marriage, especially with a man I manipulated from the start? Jeremy saw the seriousness in my eyes. He looked like he wanted to strangle me but still spoke with gentleness. Marry first. Love later. Give me a chance. Give yourself a chance. Sophia. Don't forget you started this. I shut my eyes, unable to look at him directly. Jeremy, just treat me like a manipulative bitch. Instead of being your wife, I'd rather be your business partner. Jeremy snapped. You're not a bitch. You're a damn snail. Boiling with frustration, he didn't take it out on me. He stormed off to settle the score with the man who turned me into that snail. The Chan family's 2 golden boys ended up beating the crap out of each other at the villa gates. They weren't pulling punches, every hit was brutal. Amias was about to rush out. Mommy, Daddy's getting beat up by the bad guy. I watched closely. Your daddy's obviously winning. Still, I took Amias by the hand and walked outside. Stop. Both of you. That's right. Ethan, I cheated on you. Amias is Jeremy's son. Surprised? Didn't see that coming. Did you? Who said I had to have your child? Who cares about your stupid 5-year sentence? I've waited for this day for years. Every humiliating night, I dreamed of giving you the biggest betrayal possible. Chapter 13. Ethan ultimately couldn't take me home. Even if he was boiling with rage and wanted to strangle me, there was nothing he could do under Jeremy's watch. That night, the end of the so-called 5-year sentence, he dragged his battered body home, once again playing the role of the emotional victim and sleeping alone in a cold, empty bed. What I didn't expect was that he would message me the whole night, starting at 9 p.m. and continuing non-stop until 3 a.m. At first, it was just 1 or 2 scattered texts. When I didn't reply, he started bombarding me. I won't make a fuss about you having Jeremy's child. I know your body is still clean. We can start over, but one condition: no one can ever know you're Amy's mom. I swear. From now on I'll treat you like a queen. Even if you slap Celestine, I'll side with you. She was just a light in my life. When I saw her being bullied, I couldn't help but defend her. But it's been over for a long time. Otherwise, I wouldn't have married you. You know I never fooled around after marrying you. You were my only woman. I held you every night. You can vouch for that. Sophia. Don't look at how fierce a man acts. Look at who he chooses to marry. You're the only one who ever made me think about marriage. Isn't that enough? Reply. I know you're still awake. I've compromised so much. What more do you want? Jeremy almost beat me to death today. My whole body's aching. You really don't feel a shred of pity? Pity? My ass. Right now. I was tending to Jeremy's wounds. I swear he did it on purpose, stripping off his shirt to show off the bruises Ethan gave him. All those blue and purple splotches over his rock-hard abs? Sexy as hell. The battle-damaged look was dangerously tempting. I was this close to giving in. Click. Amyas stood nearby holding my phone, snapping a photo of me tending to Jeremy's injuries. With a tiny finger, he sent it to Ethan. Then he hit the voice message button and said in his most adorably smug tone, "My mommy's busy. She can't text you back." I wouldn't be surprised if Ethan actually died from rage. Jeremy gave Amyas a proud pat on the head. Good boy. Emboldened, Amyas pressed the voice button again. Uncle, if you can't sleep, I can chat with you. I love chatting. Mommy doesn't need your love anymore. She has mine. I'm younger, cuter. What do you have to beat this level of cute? Anyway, I'm off to bed. Mommy and Daddy are sleeping with me tonight, and I'm super happy. Oh, Mommy asked me to tell you, if you want her to come home, you'll have to kneel at the entrance of your wedding hotel for 24 straight hours, not a second less. Don't forget to bring some durians, okay? Winning her back won't be easy. That's all the help this baby can give ya. Chapter 14. The next day. A video of Ethan and Jeremy brawling outside the villa hit the top of the trending charts. I bought the spot. No explanation. No context. The internet exploded. Speculation flew wild. Most people assumed Ethan was throwing a tantrum, unwilling to accept that the old man had named Jeremy the next heir to the Chan group just before dying. Meanwhile, I slipped into the comments section under a burner account and dropped a little bomb. Rumor has it Ethan just got played hard. A private WeChat group in high society blew up. Screenshots flooded in. Notifications, 99 plus. No way. His wife's such a pushover. She cheated on Ethan? This is the same woman who was forced to kneel at their wedding and didn't dare fight back. She had the guts to cheat? I'll bet 100 cucumbers it's fake. Who's the other man? Don't tell me it's Jeremy? LOL. Are you insane? You think Jeremy would go for Sophia? That's a frog dreaming of kissing the moon. And the frog is Sophia. Exclusive, my bodyguard's best buds with one of Ethan's guys. He swears Ethan took them to Jeremy's place to catch them in the act. And Sophia straight up admitted the kid was Jeremy's. Holy crap, holy crap. Is the world crazy, or am I? Wasn't Amyas supposed to be the child of Dr. L and Jeremy? Wait, are you saying Sophia is Dr. L? Chapter 15. Meanwhile, the Chan Group held a press conference to officially announce a long-term collaboration with Dr. L. From now on, the Chan Group would invest heavily in the production of artificial womb simulation pods. Amyas was unveiled as the exclusive global ambassador for the artificial womb project. At the press conference, the Chan Group released the full footage of Amyas's development inside the pod, from embryo to fetus, and finally to simulated delivery. From week 8, when major organs begin to form, to continued growth and development of all systems, to the appearance of skin and hair and gradual adjustment of body proportions. By around week 36, the baby's body had matured enough for birth and was moved toward the artificial birthing canal. During this stage, the pod mimicked natural uterine contractions, helping the baby pass through the canal and be born safely. Then came that first wah, loud and powerful, like a divine chorus. Amias was born into this world with a voice that filled the room. The crowd at the press conference erupted in thunderous applause. The event was streamed live worldwide. The internet lost its mind. Dr. L was hailed online as a modern-day feminist icon. Everyone was desperate to know who exactly was the mysterious Dr. L. And then, I walked up onto the stage, representing the entire research team. I announced to the world, yes, I am Amias's mother, Dr. L. That cheating drama on Ethan's head? I wanted the entire planet to know about it. Chapter 16. Weibo exploded. All top 10 trending posts were about me. I thought I'd get slammed for cheating, but to my surprise, the whole internet was cheering for me. Someone dug up the wedding footage of me being forced to kneel, along with every detail of my twisted marriage to Ethan. Girls were fuming as they typed, LMAO. This is so satisfying. From now on, she's Nyahilu Sophia. Note, Nyahilu is a reference to powerful royal women in Chinese history, often used online to crown badass heroines. A 5-year sentence? Ethan, are you for real? You totally deserve to get played. How is this cheating? Sophia sacrificed her reputation for the sake of liberating women. Ethan, are you really this petty? What a weak little man. Ethan, you didn't touch your wife for 5 years. Maybe the problem's with you. Hurry up and divorce her already. I gave a like to every single comment, loud and proud. Hopefully Ethan gets so mad he just drops dead, saves me the trouble of divorcing and lets me be a free widow. Chapter 17. Suddenly, a pair of hands gripped my waist from behind. Possessive and firm, soft lips brushed against my ear. I thought it was Jeremy, but when I turned my head and saw it was Ethan, my blood ran cold. He spun me around and cupped my face with bloodshot eyes, trying to force a kiss. I lifted my knee, full-on self-defense, and landed a solid hit between his legs. Ack! Ethan doubled over in pain. I seized the chance and slipped out of his grip, but he grabbed my wrist before I could escape. Sophia, don't forget, I'm still your lawfully wedded husband. You admitted to cheating on me and stirred up a media storm. You really think you can walk away with both fame and fortune? Then sue me. I dare you. For 5 years. I dreamed of divorce. I wouldn't mind if it ended because of cheating. Ethan deflated, still gripping my wrist, bargaining out of sheer helplessness. Sophia, I'm sorry. I reflected all night last night. I admit it, I can't sleep without you in my arms. You win. Celestine is just a mosquito bite of the past. From now on, my heart is yours. Please don't fight me anymore. I'm even willing to forgive you for cheating. Doesn't that move you? I know you still love me. You're just mad I humiliated you because of Celestine. Touched? Are you kidding me? Ethan, let me be clear. The Sophia who loved you, you killed her on our wedding night. Every night after that, lying next to you made my skin crawl. You're only trying to win me back now because your male ego can't take it. And because now I'm standing under a global spotlight. And suddenly I'm valuable in your eyes. If I hadn't invented the artificial womb, if I weren't basking in glory right now, if I were still that spineless pushover crushed under your dominance, you wouldn't even look my way. Men don't regret losing a woman who loves them. They regret losing the one who becomes too radiant to touch. At the end of the day, you're just pathetic. I'm moving in with Jeremy. If you refuse to divorce me, then enjoy wearing that cheating crown for the rest of your life. Jeremy had been leaning against the doorway, arms crossed, watching us the whole time. He smirked and threw me a wink. You said you're moving in with me. I'm holding you to that. No take-backs. Can I admit I only said that to piss off Ethan and force a divorce? Of course not. In front of Ethan, I couldn't backpedal. I walked right up and wrapped my arm around Jeremy's. Of course I won't take it back. As long as you don't mind, I'm still technically married. Baby daddy. Let's go home. Chapter 18. Jeremy and I lived together for more than 6 months. We were often seen in public holding hands with Amias. Every now and then, we'd buy trending spots online to tease Ethan, headlines like, "That green glow on his head is blinding." Eventually, Ethan couldn't take the public mockery anymore. Grinding his teeth, he finally filed for divorce. Not long after, Jeremy proposed. I didn't want to say yes, but then Jeremy whispered to me, "Picture it, you in a wedding dress, beaming on stage, Ethan in the audience, bitter and helpless, and Celestine watching with eyes full of jealousy, scratching at her own skin. Don't you want that sweet revenge?" Okay, I admit it, I was tempted. Jeremy added, "Let's hold the wedding on your 6th wedding anniversary with Ethan. Fall where you tripped. Let this be your closure, the end of pain." Damn it, I was sold. So, on that very day, I wore a wedding dress again and held my new wedding at the exact same hotel. Theme, healing. As Jeremy and I exchanged rings on stage, I spotted Celestine in the crowd, her eyes red from envy. She probably didn't want to come, but Jeremy made sure her family got the invitation, with her name underlined. He made it clear, if Celestine doesn't show up, her family business goes under. You choose. Now that's my kind of man. Amia skipped over to Ethan and said with a grin, "Uncle, thanks for not sleeping with Mommy, otherwise there'd be no me." Ethan nearly dropped dead on the spot. He drank himself stupid that night. Stripped of his heir status at the Chan group, Ethan was no longer the golden boy. The spotlight had moved, all eyes were on Jeremy now. Even when Ethan lost his temper, no one catered to him. Instead, they told him, "Come on, man, be mature. This marriage ended because you ruined it. I told you not to push too hard. You didn't listen. This is what you get." And me? I stared at Jeremy as he slid the ring onto my finger, my hand trembling slightly. He leaned in close and said gently, "Don't be afraid. Marriage can be a grave, or it can be a safe harbor. It's all in how we build it. Let's grow together. Love will follow. Sophia. Trust me, just this once."